The word self-realization has two problems. One is it makes one feel that there is something to do. This is our orientation in any case. We feel that kuch karna hai. There is something to be done in order to get this self or realize it in something. So it begs effort on one's part. That is the first problem with the word, because of the reasons which we will be seeing in the course of this talk. And the second thing, the word self, the self-realization, when you say the word realization, that it makes this sense of being away from oneself. That which I call the self, first of all is away, and I have to get it somehow. And so for these reasons, I do not prefer to use the word self-realization, as it is fraught with some difficulties. And our orientation already being that of the doer. That is the first orientation. And this is what we are going to be speaking about today, Atmajnanam. So therefore, if we translate it directly, it becomes self-knowledge. So when you say, this self, you have to gain this knowledge. The orientation is that of karta. Karta means I have to do something. I am, from morning to night, there is the doer is alive. As soon as you wake up and stretch the limbs, immediately the doer is born and reborn and born again, day after day after day. And then what? Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. This is the persistent doer. And this doer is the one that feels that I am the agent of all action. If I am the agent of all action, then it logically follows that the action is what? The action has results, and I am the producer of those above mentioned results also. So I am karta, and then what happens? Then the karma that I do, the actions that I do, produce certain results, and those results, in order to, when I start experiencing those results, then I become what is called bhokta. So like a pendulum, karta bhokta, karta bhokta, karta bhokta. This is what the life is about. Somebody sent me one video, and in that video, small video, there were a group of 4 kittens, small kittens. And then they were watching one table tennis match between 2 people. So the ball would go this way and all of them would look this way. And then the ball would come this way and all of them would turn this way. And so it was very entertaining because they were going like this. And this is what the human being's life is like, caught between these 2 statuses. And what are those statuses? Karta, doer, and then experiencer of one's doings. In fact, the whole life goes like this. First, I want to do things. And why do I want to do things? Because I don't like how things are already. I do not like them, and therefore I do not like what the situation is. I do not like the setup. I do not like my own place in the scheme of things. I am not happy with other people around me. Other jivas Around me, I have a problem, definitely. Then I have a problem also with the Jagat, with the world that I am in. Of course, I have problems. So many things, not to mention Corona. And then what? Then we have all the things that are dangerous, all the things that are against me, all the things that are out to get me. This is the situation, this is the problem. And so therefore what? Therefore this I need to change things in the world in order to be comfortable. Number one. Number two, I need to change other people in order to be comfortable, starting with the significant other. And anybody who's married knows that this is impossible. This is impossible. The longer you are married, you get the Atmajnanam. What is that? The significant other cannot be changed. Neither can you change them, nor can they change you. This is the Gyanam that one gets. So this is the very big problem. And then so other jivas one wishes to change, the Jagat one wishes to change. Jagat means everything starting with one's own body, mind, sense complex. But then that seems to have a life of its own. If you look at the etymology of the word Jagat, it is Jayate Gacchati iti Jagat. Jayate is born, Gacchati is gone. This is the Jagat. So you take the Ja of Jayate, you take the Ga of Gacchati, and then born, gone. In between a little bit of is. Born is gone. Gone is born. Anyhow you can take. Gone, born, is. Is, gone, born. Same thing. And then there is also one more factor in the world. What is that? Ishvara, Bhagavan. Bhagavan means what? The one who is responsible for this world, the force that is responsible for this world. And then that also one wants to change. Definitely. That also one wants to change. And this is very evident in the whole Jagat. We see how people want to think of Bhagavan in a way that is convenient to them. This is what it is. And so may Bhagavan be pleasing to me. May Bhagavan give me what I want. And so the relationship between oneself and Bhagavan is either favorable or unfavorable, depending upon whether one's desires are being fulfilled on a regular basis or not. If the desires are being fulfilled on a regular basis, if I am getting whatever I want, then Bhagavan is good. If I am not getting what I want, then Bhagavan is bad Bhagavan. So you see, this is one's orientation towards the world, towards other people in the world, towards other people in the world, towards the Jagat, towards oneself, and towards what? Towards one's own orientation. That something has to be transformed. I have to do something, because the world is otherwise inimical to me. People are inimical to me. And so therefore, there is a frenetic activity. All actions come from this place of these two thoughts which are internalized. These two notions which are deeply internalized. First notion, I am not okay. I am not okay. Forget the second notion, the Jagat, the people in the Jagat, they are not okay. But then, I am not okay. I am not okay means what? I am not lovable. I am not confident enough. I am not accomplished enough. I am not famous enough. I am not I don't have enough. Not enough, not enough, not enough. So this sense of lack which plagues oneself leads one, and the dissatisfaction with the scheme of things around oneself leads one constantly to do what? To be making this assumption that I have to set things right with my own series of activities and to brand myself as a karta. This is what I have to do. I have to become a karta. Become a karta means what? I have to do things because I have free will, and I have the capacity to act. And sometimes I see that I have a capacity to change certain things that I'm about to do. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't work. But at the times that it works, oh, it is wonderful, it is great, it is fantastic, I can do this. And then what? And then whatever comes, oh no, I didn't like this karma phal. This karma phala is not wonderful. Then what? Then does the person sit quietly? No. Some more doing, some more being done in. And this is what the Shastra says. This is a problem. This is very, very inimical or completely antithetical, I should say, to what is called the journey, the journey of what is called Atmajnanam. The journey of Atmajnanam is not incumbent, is not conducive to the status of kartritvam or defining or branding oneself as a doer. The two are opposed to one another like oil and water. Even in a salad dressing, they do not really completely mix. You can see blobs of olive oil and whatever water content is there. You can see it separated. Even if you, that's why it says shake, shake, shake. Even if you shake whatever it is, it doesn't mix. So too, in the same manner, the sense of doership, the notion that I am a doer, does not jive very well at all with this spiritual journey called Atmajnanam. And that is why I do not like to, I'm not very fond or I do not care to use the word realization, because it keeps on refurbishing this notion that needs to be dropped actually. This notion is what needs to be dropped, and then that is where the Bhagavad Gita becomes a very important support system for us who are interested in dropping this notion that one is a doer. If one is a doer, if this Swarupa of the Atman, the oneself, is a doer, then you should be doing all the time. But you are not. In sleep there is total absence of kartritvam. There are no agenda, there is nothing to accomplish, there is nothing to lose, there is nothing to gain, there is nothing to preserve, there is nothing to shun, there is nothing to run after, there is nothing to run away from. In sleep, one is with Ishvara. One's Swarupa is that of Ishvara, whether the sleep takes place in the Vedanta class or outside. Doesn't matter. You are still with Ishvara, regardless of when the eyes drop off, when the face nods off. One doesn't know. You are with Ishvara, you are one. And if you are one with Ishvara, then there is nothing to do. There is nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing to accomplish. Why? Primarily because the seeds of doership The cause of do worship comes from Atmajnanam, opposite of Atmajnanam. Atmajnanam means the ignorance centered on the self. So we have Atmajnanam, knowledge of the I as Ishvara, which is evidenced in sleep, and then Atmajnanam, knowledge of the self in all other states, waking state, dream state, where there is sorrow possible, where there is conflict possible, where there is strife possible. In the waking state, it is a lived conflict on the empirical level, on the everyday level, on the Vyavaharika Satta, transactional level, and in the sleep state, in the dream state, it is a remembered conflict, remembered sorrow, because the raw material for the dream is one's own memories and desires. So the seeds of Kartritvam, do worship, is Atma Ajnanam. And if the seed is Atma Ajnanam, then what happens? Then we have the sprout. Sprout is what? The sprout is the Kama. Sprout is Kama. Ankura. Ankura means sprout. The Ankura is Kama. And then that Ankura is watered with the water of Karma. The water of Karma. And then miracle grow also. All these things, it's watered, it's nourished, it's fertilized. And the Ankura, the sprout, which is just a split version of the seed, a tiny tender shoot, grows and grows and grows into a huge tree. What is this tree? Samsara tree. Samsara tree means that which keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And it is usually seen as a Nyagrodha Vriksha. Nyagrodha means banyan tree. And you know the funny thing about the banyan tree, the branches then come downwards. And then it takes root again. And then it becomes again another tree. And then the branches have these fronds, these kinds of little fibers. And they come downwards and they take root again. That is why the banyan tree not only grows this way, it grows sideways, Tiryaka. So very soon you have a banyan grove. This is the tree of do worship. This is what happens. It keeps going and going and going, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. And if you ask the question, to kya, fir kya, to kya hua? So what happens if it grows? Let it grow. It's nice to see a tree. Well, that is if you see the tree, okay, fine. But here we are talking metaphorically. What does this tree symbolize? What does this tree symbolize? The tree, what is the fruit of this tree? The fruit has to be sweet, and then only the tree is worth its, is worthwhile. If the fruit is bitter after all this exercise of watering, pruning, cutting, miracle grow, fertilizing, all these things, then you get just some fruit that is not even worth putting in the mouth. What is the use of all this effort? What is the use of all this effort? Bijam samsriti. There is a very nice verse in the, where is that? Viveka Chudam. Bijam samsriti drumasya. Druma is tree. So the bija for this samsriti druma means the samsara tree. And what is the bija? Ajnanam. Samsriti vrikshasya bijaha ajnanam. The text attributed to Adi Shankara says, Dehatmadhihi ankuraha. Ankuraha means What is the sprout? I am as good as the body, iti notion. This notion, Dehatmadhirankurah, Ragav Pallavamambu Karma Suvapuhu, Skandho Savashakhikaha, Agranindriya Samsriti Vishayaha, Pushpani Dukkham Phalam, Nana Karma Samudbhavam Vapuridham. And then what is the Jiva? Jiva is the sad Khaga. Khaga means bird sitting in the nest. So if you unpack this verse, wonderful things come out of it. Dehatmadhihi ankuraha means the sprout is the wrong, mistaken notion that I am as good as this body, I am as good as this mind, I am as good as the senses, I am as good as what I see, I am as good as what I do. Oh no, I am as good as what other people think of me. This is the Ankura. And then all the desires which are there are the leaves, because the leaves keep being born. And some desires are gone, they shed, and then again it is born. Ragaha Pallavaha. Pallavaha means all the leaves. And then Karma Vapuhu, the action that is done becomes the Vapu. Vapu means trunk of the tree. Action that is done becomes the trunk of the tree. Skandhaha Asavaha. And let's say the tree has 5 branches, those become the 5 main branches, those become the prana, 5 vital airs as it is called, the life forces, all the functionings in one's life. So then Ragav Pallava Ambu Karma Suvapu, Skandhaha Asavaha, and then Asavaha Shakhika. Shakhika, these small branches are all the vital air, can be seen as vital airs. And then what? Dukkha is the fruit. The fruit of this samsara tree is nothing but dukkha, nothing but sorrow. And if you say, why are you so pessimistic? In fact, my life is very, very happy. Somebody says, I am fine. And you just talk to them for a little while longer if somebody says that. Really? You just ask one question. Really? Is everything okay? Are you happy? Then they will say, no, actually it's not all okay. The more time you have, the more the people will open up. And the more time you have to listen, you will see that everybody's life is like this. What is this? This is an American expression. It means so and so, theek hai. In any language, how are you doing? Chalta hai. It is going. Somehow I am not leading my life, it is leading me. So, how is the job? What does this mean? The commute is fine, it's very close to the house, the pay is not that good. That's how the job is. And then, how are the children? They are studying well, but they are in the teenage. So, this is the problem. Whatever, there is no communication at all. At the dinner table, they are sitting and texting me. This is what it is. So, how is the marriage? Then the hand develops a tremor. Very fast it goes. Everything is like that. Pushpani, the Pushpani and Phalam, Dukkham. This is what it is. So the question is, and that's why we have the Adhisthana Devata of this knowledge, the presiding Bhagavan in the form of the one that presides over this knowledge is Lord Dakshinamurti. And if you look closely, you see a banyan tree He's sitting under the banyan tree is the backdrop. Why? The one who has won over this doership, the one who has won over samsara, the one who has got away from this tree, is unafflicted by the samsara tree. And it is a tree because it keeps on going, life after life after life, generation after generation. People come, people go, without knowing the truth of themselves. And so, therefore, this concept of this samsara tree has a pervasive, has a persistent and a rampant, abidance in Vedanta literature. You find this in the Kathopanishads. Samsara vriksha, you find this first in the Kathopanishad. And then you find it in the Bhagavad Gita, just borrows verbatim from the Kathopanishad. You find it in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where it talks about the upside down tree. The samsara tree is upside down, whose roots are above, whose branches are below. What does it mean? Roots are above means invisible, it is you. That which cannot be objectified is you. And branches are below means what? That is the low hanging fruit and all this karma and karma phala, this kind of this loop that one is caught into. So this is there in the samsara tree is features in the Kathopanishad. It also features in the Mundakopanishad. And in the Mundakopanishad, the same tree is there, samsara tree, and two birds are there. Two birds on the same tree. And then the Mundakopanishad says, Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samanam vrikshe parishasva jate tayore kaf pippalam swadu atti Anashnananyo abhichakashiti. Two birds who are the greatest friends. Suparna means very fine, shiny wings. They are parishashva jate means they are hugging one another. They are hugging and kissing one another on the same tree. Oh, so they do everything together? Well, not really. Why? Because one of them is a busy bird. Why is it a busy bird? Because it is always seeking. What is it seeking? It is seeking pippala. Pippalam is berry. Pippalam swadu pippalam atti. It is not just seeking berries, but it is seeking berries that are very, very sweet. We can say that. So it is seeking sweet berries all the time. Hopping from branch to branch, sampling little thing. Oh, this is khatta, bitter, sour. The other one is kadwa, bitter. The third one is rotten. And keeps on going from branch to branch. What is the other one doing? The other one doesn't eat, doesn't go around, doesn't seek. The other one simply watches this one. Very cryptic verse, until one understands what this means. And what this means is this, that these two birds symbolize the two, as though split within one's own heart between karta, which is a kritrim. Kritrim means manufactured identity in order to stave off the perceived insults, fears, tears, and in order to frantically avoid discomfort and increase comfort. Everybody wanting sweet karma phala and trying all the time to get sweet karma phala. This is the problem, this is the situation. And so as a result, what happens? As a result, one is exhausted like the first bird. Exhausted, tired, can't stop. One life gone, exhausted, tired, can't stop, another life gone. Life after life after life. Then What is the other bird? The other bird is what one really wants to be and what one already happens to be. This bird is akarta, non-doer. This bird is abhokta, non-experiencer, non-enjoyer, whatever you want to call it. Neither karta nor bhokta, this bird is you. This is what you want to be. You want to stop doing. You want to stop being tethered to this chain of avidya, kama, karma, karmaphala, punarjanma. These are the links of the chain, which is in the form of a loop again and again, which are shackles that are like piles on the feet. These 5 loop chain. Shackled. Feet are shackled, hands are shackled by the notion, I have to do something, I have to do something, I have to do something. And if I don't do this, something will not happen. I will not get what I want, and I will not have this, and I will not do this. So the first bird is, so to speak, Jiva bird, so second bird, Ishvara bird. Really? Are there 2 birds? No. There is only one bird. Then why do I see 2? Because one sees 2 because the bird itself separates itself out of the fact, because it is intoxicated. It is intoxicated. Intoxicated by what? By the rotten fermented berries it is keeping on eating. That is why it is intoxicated. Its vision is corrupted. It sees 2 in the place of 1. When do you see 2 in the place of 1? When one is intoxicated. That is what it is. Intoxicated to the addiction to karma and karma phala. This is an addicted bird. And just like when there is an addicted person in the circle of friends or family, what is recommended to be done by psychologists is stage an intervention. ये intervention क्या होता है? This intervention is very interesting. All the family members come together, friends, everybody that loves this person. This person is also made to sit, and everybody says how much they love this person and how much they are hurt by this person's difficulties and in this kind of a behavior. Can this person, no, please not do this. This is the problem. This is what is talked about. And then there is a car waiting outside to take them. Already there is a set up, a facility for rehab, detox, whatever. And then they are made to agree. They are just bombarded with a lot of love, made to agree. And then sent off to basically come back healthy. And here too, an intervention is needed. Why? Because the doer bird is not able to rest in its glory as Bhagavan, as Ishvara, as non-doer. The doer bird is alienated from the truth of itself. The doer bird, the karta bird is basically very sad, very upset, and does not know how to come out of it. And so therefore what? So therefore, Atmajnanam, if in this orientation that I am a karta, then one enters the field of Atmajnanam, then tragedy awaits. Because if that orientation, I am the doer, is not dispatched and dismissed immediately, then it bleeds into this pursuit as well. Therefore, I have to get something. Up till now, I was in samsara, I was an experience hunter. I wanted good experiences and then get away from bad experiences, and I had this catch, kill, conquer, kill mentality. All the time, catch and kill, catch and kill, catch and kill, get it. And then coming into the spiritual realm, also, if the catch and kill mentality has not gone, I want to get the Atma. How are you going to get the Atma? You are the Atma. I want to have the Atma, I want to hold the Atma, I want to hug the Atma, I want to, this doesn't work. because there is kartru karma virodha, a contradiction between the one who is seeking and the quote unquote object of that seeking. The object of your seeking happens to be the subject which cannot be objectified. The object of what you seek is you, and you cannot be objectified. You are not an object. You are not a cheese. You are not something that you cannot, you are not like a pot, like a clay pot. You are not like that. Why aren't you like that? You are not like that because you don't have, those kinds of vrittis. You cannot be objectified. You need not be objectified. Why? Because you are self-evident self. Swatas siddha vastu is this Atma. Swatas siddha. It is evident to itself. That's why I keep asking the question, are you here? Well, I don't know. Nobody can say that. The answer always have to be, yes, I am here. I am here. How can you say no? The Atma can never be negated. I am here. Then the person says, just don't ask the next question, who am I? Who are you? Don't ask, because all kinds of mistakes will come out. I am an idiot. I am as good as the body. I am so many feet and so many inches tall, and I have this problem, that problem, every other problem, mental problem, dental problem, this problem, all kinds of problems I have. And then this is what will come. And the fruit of this samsara tree, being a bird that is addicted to the samsara tree, is always a travesty. The fruit is always bitter. The fruit is always completely not tasty. Yet the bird keeps flying around the tree, and it wants to make its nest in the own tree. It wants to raise the babies into becoming kartas in that same tree. What to do? What to do? Because it is addicted. God has given this bird a pair of wonderful expansive wings. It still refuses to fly away. That is the state of affairs. And so for such a person to enter the realm of the Upanishad, it has to be done with help. This is what the Upanishad says. This is what Adi Shankara also says. So the same Upanishad, it says, which we were talking about, which I quoted about with the two birds. How do the two birds reconcile and become one, so to speak? Become again within apostrophes, because they are already one. The vision has to be revolutionized. And how does that happen? It says, Jushtam yada anyam ekam isham. When it sees the other bird as itself, as tasya mahimanam vita shokaha, meaning when it sees the other bird as an extension of its own glory, when it sees Ishvara as itself, when it sees when the jiva sees Ishvara as itself, then it understands the glorious self. This is what it is. The two, as though two, become one, because the cataract in the eyes have been operated. So should I go on Amazon.com to buy a scalpel? No. Please don't do that. It is dangerous. Whether we are talking of the real cataract or the cataract of Atmajnanam. That is why the Guru Stotra, the second stanza, very beautiful. Ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Unto that Guru, my namaskars. My namaskars unto that Guru. And who is this Guru? The Guru that is there, who helped me to see. How did the Guru help you to see? The Guru basically did a surgery, cataract surgery. For the one who was suffering from the cataract of Ajnanam, the Guru took the ointment of knowledge and dipped the scalpel in the ointment of knowledge and applied it to the cataract, and the cataract fell off. So I no longer see duality in the place of one. I see only Bhagavan. And this is what it is. And so here, the role of the Guru is talked about at length in all the Upanishads. And Adi Shankara, in his commentary of the Mundaka Upanishad, he makes it very clear. Panditopi, even if one is a Pandita means very well, very erudite, very well schooled in Sanskrit and Veda, etc., very well learned. Panditopi, Swatantriyena, Brahmanveshanam na kuryat, meaning, may one, even if he or she is a Pandit, do not do this Anveshanam, do not do self-enquiry or enquiry into Brahman unaided, Swatantriyena. Swatantriyena means by oneself. By oneself means by, without any kind of a help from somebody who has done this before, without help from teacher. This is what Adi Shankara says. And then the same Mundaka Upanishad later on, will say this. Parikshya lokan karmachitan nirvedam ayat nasti akritah kritena tad vijnanartham gurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtham. It talks about the stages of self-enquiry. First is, it is very difficult to drop the doer. How to drop the doer? Because I think I am the doer. And so, step number 1 is Parikshya Lokan. Parikshya. Lokan Parikshya. Please examine all the lokas means fields of experiences. Examine whatever you have done. Examine the results. Do an honest self-enquiry. Step number 1, examine your actions and their results, not from today but from your whole life. At least this life we remember. So do that. And then what happens? Then the step number 2, naturally you will have nirveda. Nirvedam ayat. Nirveda means vairagya. You think about your life, how hard you have worked, how much you have done, only to get this much results each and every time. And immediately you find that an honest self-enquiry into all your actions and the results you have been able to gain from them, you find that there is a problem, because the means and ends do not match. What you wanted is happiness, and what you got is what? A spouse. I'm not saying that spouse makes you unhappy. I'm just, saying this is what it is. And so what you wanted was happiness. And instead what? You got a bank account. And then, but doesn't the bank account make me happy? No, because I can't sleep at night because I'm worried about inflation and I'm worried about how to do this. I'm worried about protecting money from itself. And then I'm worried about how to, I'm worried about, okay, now I have invested in, what is that called? Hidden currency, cryptocurrency. So some Bitcoin, something, they're making a big deal out of this. And so I have invested in cryptocurrency. And then, oh no, it has fallen. And the heart also falls along that. Oh no, now I'm rich again. In 1 minute, millionaire. And in another minute, Kangal. This is what happens. Kangala means without anything. Not even 2 pennies, 2 Bitcoins to rub against one another. This is the situation. That's why it's called Bitcoin, because bit by bit, it eats into your sanity. It's a coin that bit by bit eats into your sanity. That is why it is called Bitcoin. Okay? Yeah, everything, there is a reason for everything. And so then, this kind of a self-examination, you see everything that you have looked and worked hard for, everything that you thought was worthwhile, suddenly doesn't become worthwhile if you examine it honestly. You worked for a dream house, a place where you could not even afford, but you built it, according to how many children you had, and you imagined each child would have two grandchildren at least, maybe more than two, and then you built rooms for all of them. And then what? They have all flown the nest, and then you are here. You both are here, and the dream house has become a nightmare. Climbing up the stairs has become arthritic, and then and cleaning is a big mess. And because oh, maybe they'll come during Christmas, one day they come, that's all. And then maybe they'll come during Thanksgiving, nice idea, but sometimes they're not able to come at all. And so therefore, the dream house becomes a nightmare. Why? Because it's a difficulty to clean. And then it also becomes a nightmare because nobody else wants to buy your dream. It's a nightmare to sell because they have their own dream. Why will they buy your dream? So this way, everything that you have seen, in fact, if you examine it honestly, it will definitely give you nirveda, dispassion, vairagya. Jigupsa. Jigupsa means get away from me. I'm a revulsion. Even if you have too much of a good things, after a while you're sick of it. You're sick of it. Even if your favorite is some kheer, how much kheer can you have? 1 cup, 2 cup, and the 3rd cup you say, get away from me. You get sick. And that kind of a mental, dispassion is called vairagya, which is the backbone of this knowledge. Without vairagya, this knowledge will not come. So step 2, vairagya. Step 1, self-examination of all the things that one has done. Let the life fly before your eyes, and then you have vairagya. And then step 3, along with the vairagya, there is the viveka. Viveka means the wisdom, the discrimination. And what is that? Nasti akritaha kritena. Kritena karmana akritam nasti. So, by you come to the realization or you come to the understanding. What is the understanding? By all this doing. What has this doing yielded for me? It has yielded a terrible and a huge headache. It has yielded nothing but a terrible, terrible, terrible headache. And then what? This is, that is what is the understanding that is gained. The understanding that is gained is that it has not led me anywhere. Why? Because what I want is the infinite. What I want is Atma, and that Atma is Ishvara. That Atma is like that Ishvara bird who is just looking upon everything, unaffected by sorrow, unaffected by kartritvam, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. I want to be that person. I want to be that person who is compassionate, who has nothing to, who doesn't want to be in conflict with oneself and with others in the world. This is the understanding. So what I want is limitless, and the means I am deploying to gain this is totally and completely and all the time finite. There is a sadhana and sadhya asambandha. Sadhana, practice, sadhya, that which is to be gained, the goal. So the means and the goals are not together at all. They are completely going in opposite directions. If you sit in a flight headed to San Francisco and then you wonder when it lands, how come I'm still in New York? That's because you took the wrong plane. How did I reach New York? You took the wrong plane. Okay, that's one life gone. Next life, wrong plane, wrong destination. So the sadhana must be clear. The sadhana is a very funny sadhana because that which is to be gained is already with you. It's already you. That Ishvara self is already enshrined in the heart. The eclipse of Atmajnanam has to be removed by the antidote, which is Atmajnanam, which cannot be done by itself. It needs help. It needs the Guru's teaching. The Guru has to amplify, interpret the Shastra, not according to his or her own whim, but according to the tradition. That's why the parampara, the sampradaya becomes very important. Through the sampradaya, one gains this knowledge. And so that is step number 4. Nasti akritaha kritena. So kritena karmana, by all the things that I am doing, akritam, the uncreated I, the uncreated, limitless, Satchidananda Atma, which is me, which is of the nature of Bhagavan, which is free of sorrow, which is free of fear, cannot be gained. And then, therefore, what? That is the next step. So the step after that, tasmat, therefore, tad vijnanartham. In order to know this, you see, so from the orientation of doing, we have graduated into the realm of knowing. So cognitive pursuit, this is not something to be created. This is not something to do. This is something to sit back, relax and do Shravan. Shravan means listening. So you listen, you listen, you listen, you listen. Again and again and again. And so therefore what? So then tad vijnanartham, how do I do this? Guru meva abhigachet, may the person seek refuge in a teacher. Eva. Eva means only through this do you get this knowledge, not by some kind of self-study. Self-study, can help perhaps in gaining the values, vairagya, etc., but it will not give self-knowledge. Vedanta is not DIY. What is DIY? Do it yourself. If you find a book DIY Vedanta, please don't buy it. Okay, save your money for a nicer treat. Yeah, get a coffee or a chocolate cake instead, because it will be deeply more satisfying than the book. Book called DIY Self-Study Vedanta doesn't exist. It is always parampara centric. It is always tradition centric. We walk on the road that the gurus have walked on. And the guru is needed to unlock the heart which is locked up in all its wrong notions. I am karta, I am bhokta, I am pramata, I am this, I am that. Those finitude, that notion of finitude has to be removed by handling the means of knowledge, which is the Shastra. The Shastra is not something to read coming from your own infrastructure of ignorance. The Shastra is a means of knowledge, just like your eyes, your ears, it helps you to see. So the Shastra is made into a live means of knowledge with the help of the teacher, who teaches in accordance with the tradition. And that's why the qualifications of the teacher are finally given. Make sure you choose a Shrotriya. Shrotriya means the one who comes from a sound lineage. A sound lineage is not a lineage that makes sound, okay? A sound lineage, the one who comes from a sound lineage which sees which sees Advaita for what it is, and then as a result of this sound lineage, being exposed to the teaching, not one time, a committed exposure to the teaching leads you to understand this. So the first qualification for the teacher also needs to be qualified. The first qualification comes from an Advaita lineage. He has been well taught by his guru, her guru, whoever it is. And then after that what? Brahmanishtham. Make sure that the teacher has not many other things going on in the life. Nishtha means nitaram sthitihi. The abidance is in Brahman alone. And this is very difficult to ascertain. What the guru is committed to Brahman or not, how can you understand? Whether the guru is committed to Brahman or the stock market is very difficult to ascertain. So therefore, better to go with the first qualification, Shrotriya. As long as the person is able to teach, just like how she or he was taught by her or his guru, then one is safe. This is how one gains the knowledge. And in this time of, this is what is Atmajnanam. These are the steps that it takes. And in conclusion, I'd like to say that, in time of this pandemic, it has really helped people to get this message, to get this, to just stop this, what is that? This identification with the karta, with the doer. And Zoom classes and Zoom meetings have flourished in this time. And also, it's not a accident that it is called karo na. Mat karo, kuch mat karo na. That's what it is. Don't do anything. Just sit, listen. And then when you listen, the kartritvam naturally goes away. And there are 2 steps in taking care of this kartritvam that the Bhagavad Gita talks about. First, you offer it to Ishvara, then you become a karma yogi. I am not the doer. Bhagavan, you are the doer. And you are the one who is, who is giving the prasada of my karma phala. I am neither the doer nor the recipient of my own doing. Then with this attitude of karma yoga, then with the help of self-knowledge, one listens and then one drops Atmajnanam. So I will stop here for any questions or whatever clarifications that people may have after saying the closing prayer.
Thank you, Swamiji. Very informative.
Let me say the Vishnuji. Let me say the Shanti mantra. After that, we can open it up for questions. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. हाँ जी बोलिए.
Thank you, Swamiji, for this very informative and enlightened talk. Actually, you described the whole process in step by step. So it was easy to understand. And I thought that only 30 minutes are over. I didn't realize that 1 hour is over. So, and then looks like the first step for me is to find a guru. That is looks like first step. Now, I want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to ask a question. So I'm requesting everybody to keep their questions short. And when Swamiji answered the question, then please do not engage in further discussion so that more people can ask questions. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Thank you.
You have 2 ways of asking questions. You can either type in the chat pod your question or whatever you want to ask, or you can unmute yourself and ask.
Swamiji, I have a very first of all, thank you very much for such an illustrative talk. Very nice. We had little bit discussed this Saparna, the birds. How does the bird which is enjoying all these berries come to know the Mahimanam, the Drishtva, the second sloka?
Yeah. Because of the Guru's grace, because that bird went to Vedanta class. In another part of the tree, there were Vedanta classes going on, and first it was not very willing. It had to be dragged by the significant other, and then it also started to study, and then that's how it says Asya Mahimanam is my own Mahima. That is because there is only one. It's just exactly, what I talked about in the addictive scenario. This is exactly how it is. Vedanta is an intervention. Attending the Vedanta class is an intervention. The Guru is leading this intervention. The Shastra itself is an intervention. And so here, what does the Shastra say? You are glorious, you are wonderful, yet you are suffering, and the person is not able to see. I'm not glorious, I don't know what to do. Okay, Guru Meva Abhigachet. Go to the teacher. Go and sit at the feet of the teacher and study, because there is a methodology. So the methodology is we have various methodologies, but I'll just very briefly touch upon a couple. So there is that pedagogy of teaching is inherited from the teacher. So in attending Vedanta class, you not only gain the ability to understand your own glory, but you also gain how to share this knowledge with others. That also comes for free. It is amazing. So to touch briefly upon the pedagogy, it's just like first it is na iti. I'm as good as the body. Not so. Not so. So all the things that do not belong are removed. And then therefore the eclipse of Atmajnanam is removed. The wrong notions manifesting as Atmajnanam are removed. And when the wrong notions are gone, what stays, what shines is your own Swarupa. And that which you encounter every day, every night in sleep, that Swarupa you are already encountering. That's why nobody wants to miss out on sleep and nobody wants to wake up in the morning. That's why very difficult to wake up. So like this, and then we have other prakriyas, so small operations, such as how to what is that called? How to this thing. How to what is that? What is the karya? What is this jagat? Jagat is karya, effect of Ishvara, and that the effect is non-separate from cause, like the pot is non-separate from clay. Pot is clay, clay is not pot. This is what is Vedanta, and this is what one studies. So we have Karana, Karya, Prakriya, all these things we have, and this is how we have to do this. And then another question here, what is that? Yeah, I see one hand raised. I think that is Dilip ji. I'll come to you. Let me read this first. Then I have heard that Gandhi ji didn't have any guru but listened to bhajans in the ashram. I just wanted a clarification. Does that mean that he was a person out of the league with the traditional concept? Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No, he was not at all out of league. And in fact, many people look upon Gandhiji himself as a guru. And he never objected to that. He guided people, he did that. Yeah. So, not at all. He was born for a different purpose and he gave himself to that purpose. And it's if somebody gains the knowledge, or if somebody seems to be well versed in the Vedas and well versed in this understanding without needing a guru, that means they have already been taught by the guru, and if they make sense, that means they have been taught by the guru in the last life. So that they have already come prepared. There was little bit of prarabdha karma left, and that is how they have come kind of prepared. And then next one, does one has to find the guru, or will the guru come to the seeker? Well, it's not like a high school prom, okay? You wait and ask to be asked to dance. No. You are the seeker, you have to seek. The guru has no pressure to teach. The guru has that who is a guru should not have the pressure to have more of a following. If any guru says, Ajao, please say, no, thank you. Don't go. I'm telling you this. You have to choose. Not only in the Hindu tradition, in any tradition, you see in any tradition, in the ancient traditions, you see Buddhist tradition, all other monastic traditions, you see the student goes to the teacher. Okay? Yeah, that is what it is. Then, what else? So should I say I am nothing? Let go of things, accept the things, the people in life, being in harmony with people surrounding. We should not feel Kartapan ka bodh. How can we develop in ourselves the feeling like Raja Janak? You keep listening, Ashaji, you keep listening. The more one listens, especially in a group, when you listen, then you feel more strengthened by this knowledge. So this knowledge is like going to the gym. एक बार आप जिम में जाएंगी and थोड़ा सा व्यायाम आप करेंगी, तो then what happens, then after coming home you can't look for the muscle. ये bicep कहाँ गया, tricep कहाँ गया, एक बार से थोड़ी निकलेगा. It will not come after one time. So you go every day. You go every day, you do the weights, even yoga. You do after one, what is that called? Uttanasana, down dog, etc. You cannot do this. You cannot do this at all. After एक बार में कुछ नहीं होगा. After after repeated exposure to the teaching, then you see the muscles of Atma, Atmajnanam. You see the muscles. Then they start to shine, and then that is exactly how it is here. Okay, so this class is the mental gym, Vedanta mental gym. And how can we conquer the mentality in ourselves? Catch, kill. Same way. Yeah, same way. Stop catching, stop killing, stop and learn to just drop, and then you let go. You can do some meditation. Watch the thoughts, because everything starts with a thought. Watch the thoughts, and the thoughts fall, and and imagine the thoughts are leaves, and you're sitting by a river. A river, flowing river is the mind, and the thoughts are like the leaves. Let the thought come, let it go. Let the mind be with now, 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 now. Okay, now I'm ready for you, sir. Tell me. Boliye. Dilip ji has.
बहुत धन्यवाद स्वामी जी.
Boliye.
Mr. Swamini, thank you very much. You clarified some of the things in my mind. Great talk. I have a question, and this keeps coming up. Maybe I would like your insights. The desire is a motivating factor in most of us as well as the whole humanity. And the very fact that we desire to have Atmajnana, it indicates that it is the motivating factor which is driving us towards that. And the teachings are sometimes that, that karta, the desire itself, we need to give up. And maybe I misunderstood, but your thoughts and insights into this would be very valuable, because I interact with younger people, and the question comes up: if you don't do anything and be satisfied with who you are, then there is no motivation to improve or do anything and drive yourself, which is what is needed in this environment. And yes, it is for the short-lived pleasures, but nevertheless, we are born with a body which requires some short-lived pleasures. Anyway, I would leave it up to you to comment on it, provide some insight.
Yeah. It's not a contradiction at all. There is no contradiction here. It's all wonderful because of two things. One is, for the ones who can understand, we'll come to the youth later, but for the ones who can understand, for the adults who can understand that are in this room, for example, it is important to see that all desires are an expression of the desire to be glorious. That's the only desire, to be one with glory. And if that, to be that limitless I, to want to be one with that Ishvara, is the only desire worth talking about. Okay? So this is something which is fantastic and interesting. If this is not known, like the coronavirus, it morphs into various desires, it mutates. If this is not understood, it mutates into desire to have this, desire to have something else nonsensical, desire to have, get this, get that, go here, go there, all these things. If it is known, then all other desires are fulfilled in one stroke really, because the desire to be free is the only desire, and that desire to be free is converted into, as you said, the desire to know. And so that is the only desire. If this is what is, we were talking about earlier, Vishnuji was referring to Shreyas, Preyas, etc. This is what it is. So now, if this is not understood, and with many people, one is not able to understand this, and so therefore what? So therefore one has to go step by step. So we don't, even in the Bhagavad Gita, it doesn't say control desire. Where is it said? Nowhere. It doesn't say remove desire. In fact, it says, Kamosmi Bharatarshabha. Lord Krishna says, I am in the form of desire. And what kind of desire? The desire that is filtered through the sieve of dharma. That is the first step. You make sure that the youths that you are talking to, Dilip ji, are the people who, you know, they are funneling their desire through the criteria of what is correct for them in their particular stage of life, and what is appropriate. So what is correct, samanya dharma, what is universally correct, what is appropriate for that kala, desha, vishesha dharma, and finally, is it correct for them? It may be wonderful to get married, but not when you are 16. Okay, so that is for dharma. Right now you have to study. That is, so you make sure that these, for youngsters or for young adults, whoever you are interacting with, you make sure that they understand that the desire is not wrong, but the desire has to be funneled or has to be sieved through the sieve of dharma. Dharma means 3 concentric circles. What is universally correct at all times, in all places, and then inside another circle, what is appropriate in this particular society at this particular time, and then in this particular place, and then finally the smallest circle. This may be a wonderful idea, but is it correct for me? I may want to be a great singer, but as soon as I open my mouth, everybody runs away. Is this correct for me? No, I should look for some other way where my talents are. The Swadharma is the channeling of one's talents and one's desires, into contributing to the world. And so there is no problem. In fact, people think if you become a jnani, you will not contribute at all, you will just sit in one place. I mean, just look at some of the people who have accomplished so much. Our own gurus, Pujya Swamiji, so much he was able to accomplish. And it's all the projects that he started still going on. So many ashrams, so many, All India Movement for Seva, so many projects. And so like that, it's like, when one understands the glory of oneself, there is no pressure to do. The desire is Bhagavan. So the desire is there, sans the pressure. Without the pressure, that desire is wonderful. It can be harnessed for loka sangraha. Loka sangraha means in order to help to benefit the people, to benefit everyone. How does Karma Yogi get Atmajnanam from Bhagavan? No. Karma Yogi gets Atmajnanam from Bhagavan. Yes, true, but via a teacher. The centrality of the teacher has to be understood for this knowledge, otherwise nothing will happen. Otherwise it's a waste of time. So Atmajnan comes from Bhagavan, of course, and that Bhagavan, is the Shastra, and the microphone which amplifies the Shastra, the mic, is the teacher. The teacher makes sure that you hear the knowledge clearly, and the book, which is the Shastra, is brought to life by the handling by the teacher. The first teacher is, of course, Bhagavan. Even now the teaching comes from Bhagavan. That is how even on Zoom we are able to communicate. This is amazing. When first I was thinking when all the classes went online, I was aware that many people were averse to sitting in front of a screen. They just simply did not like it. They simply could not handle it. They were used to, be listening in front, listening live. But then people adapted. Why? It's not because of me. It's not even because of you. It's because of that Bhagavan. And the message of, and this Corona is a avatara of Bhagavan that has helped us to study. That is why I call it Corona virus. That is what it is. It has helped us to study. It has helped us to do this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Om. Any other thoughts, questions? Anything else? Yeah. Please ask. आशा जी बोलिए, पूछिए.
हमने बहुत बार आत्मा के बारे में सुना. हम बहुत ही सतही लोग हैं, अपने के लिए मैं कह सकती हूँ. तो आत्मा अमर है, अजन्मा है, हमने पढ़ा बहुत बार, जो भी आंशिक रूप से। तो आत्मा का जो ट्रांसपोर्ट है शरीर, उसका, उस आत्मा जो प्रत्यक्ष रूप से सामान्य लोगों को दिखाई देता है, वो ट्रांसपोर्ट ज्यादा दिखाई देता है देन आत्मा। तो वो जो शरीर है उसका निर्धारण किन आधारों पर होता है?
It is just like the pot. The pot which holds, let's say you have a small pot which is empty. Like a ghata, rikta ghatavat. So it's rikta means it is empty. Empty of what? Not space. It is empty of water. It is empty of, maybe small pot, you have kept some coins. It is empty of the coins, but it has space. So we have a concept now, pot space. If the space in the pot has Atmajnanam, it will confuse itself to be as much as the akara of the pot. And then it will say, I am small, don't hold me like this, I will fall, and I will become first, now I am pot, then I will become crackpot. It has tadatmya. Tadatmya means identification with the akara, the name and form called pot. But then if it has a pot guru, or a pot-bellied guru, whoever, to come to teach it and say, you are not the space in the pot. You are space. In fact, space is not inside of you. You are in space. You are space. Space is not trapped, and you don't have to go ulta and go like this. You don't have to wait for the pot to break in order to be one with space. This is what the pot is taught. So this is the relationship between the body, mind, sense complex and the indweller. And the indweller is Atma, that which is Sarvam Apnoti, according to the etymology, gains everything, is everything. And therefore we say that Atma is not actually being housed in the body, just like the pot space is as though in the pot. Similarly, this Atma is as though indwelling this body, mind, sense complex, animating it. Satta Spurti Pradhan karke, it is animating it, it is blessing it by the presence, but really the body, mind, sense complex is what comes under the category of mithya. Cannot be mithya means dependent reality, cannot be affirmed categorically, cannot be denied. You cannot say this body doesn't exist. Why? Because you wake up with back pain. So how can you say the body doesn't exist? You're feeling the pain, but at the same time you are not it cannot be affirmed. You find out where is the back pain. Very difficult to find out the ultimate. Some people say it is because of this, because of that. You go to 100 doctors, still the mystery of the back pain cannot be understood. And this itself goes to show that there is some kind of a, there is a relationship of Atma, Sat, and as though relationship with Mithya. Because of the presence of Sat, Mithya shines. Mithya is like the pot which lives only because there is clay. You withdraw the clay, there is no pot. Similarly, you withdraw Atma, the body is dead, the mind is dead, the senses are dead. But while the Atma, body is Atma, mind is Atma, Atma is not the body, Atma is not the mind, Atma is not the senses. I hope that clarified. So we have so many classes. We have, twice a month class on Mundaka Upanishad. Mishra ji is in it and Aruna ji is in it. So that meets, it will meet on, when does it meet? Sunday. It meets on Sunday same time. You can plug into that. I think that will really help. So twice a month classes are there, weekly classes are there, twice a week classes are there. So how little or how much Vedanta you want, you can go to the schedule. I will write the website again, and you can do this. You can just.
I will try my best. Thank you. बहुत धन्यवाद स्वामी जी.
And also one more thing I'm putting in the chat pod. We also have a YouTube channel. So we also have that. I'm putting that. Let's not this. Ignore that one. It just sent off before this. I'm putting that also, where all the classes that are there are archived there. You can choose whatever you want to listen to whenever you want, and if you care to subscribe to it, you can get notifications. You can choose to have notification, and if there is any new new thing, you will be notified. So I have given you both those things, and you can do that. Vishnuji, you had some thoughts?
Yeah, my question was that we should not think that we are doers. So which means we become akarmi, according to, like, the karma becomes akarma, then they don't, they don't result in phala, and so we are not responsible.
Yes.
But so I can understand if we do something good and we say, I'm not a doer, but what if I make some mistakes and doing bad things, then still say, I'm not a doer.
That prasada buddhi helps, and we need not go any further than to look at one of our what is that? There is a nefarious politician. What is that? Lalu Yadav is his name, in and out of jail all the time. But his mother, was a very, I would say, a very enlightened lady, because Lalu means baby Krishna, and so she named him after Bhagavan. So he's Bhagavan's problem. She's not feeling guilty. It's Bhagavan's problem. It's like, okay, whatever you are prasada. And that's why we have prayashchit. Prayashchitta karma is there, and then prayashchitta karma is, prayashchitta karma is very much, what is that called? Atonement karma. So if you feel like you've done something that is not in keeping with your best self, then you can do some prayashchit. Usually some dana, etc. Yeah. So you have a question about 8 Chiranjeevis. You can email me. Let me give you my email, and I will respond to you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritangamaya. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yeah, please, it was wonderful to see all of you, and I hope you will please join me in some of the other classes. It was wonderful to see such a good response, and my prayers are with you, and may your study progress. May everyone have Atmajnanam. Om.
Swamiji, I just want to add one more thing, that please attend these classes. Because of my experience with the Swamiji for a long time, I have learned by myself this crumble down. Because when you will realize after attending these classes that whatever you understood by yourself, it was a wrong understanding. So please try to attend all the classes if you can. They are just wonderful classes. Thank you, Swamiji.
Om. Take care.